other than the millions of rumbling that goes on in my brain on a daily basis. I stood up yesterday on Buchanan Street to try to raise some awareness within just the general public, just people going about their business, having their day interrupted just a little bit, just momentarily. And it was all really in a bid to give them a moment to pause, to have a look within themselves more than anything else, and to ask themselves, is this acceptable? Is this okay? Is this normal? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And there are so many different things. There are so many different things that are going on that we all really have to. We all have to take a breath and a moment to work out where your morals are. Is it okay to allow our elders to die in the care homes? I don't think it is. Is it okay for the kids in school to either be not in school or to not be allowed to just be children and not be allowed to live their lives on a daily basis and interact with their peers and learn? And you know, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and if you weren't in a field somewhere getting filthy, eating worms and all that kind of stuff, then you just weren't one of us, you know. Where I see things going, and I'm looking on so many different levels, but mainly on an economic level. As I said, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I remember the massacre of industry where the coal mines were concerned, where steel manufacture was concerned, and there was so much unemployment, and there was so much in the way of people had nothing. They had no jobs, they had no hope, they had nothing in the way of hope or anything to give their own children, the next generation that were coming through, who often didn't have enough to eat. Their education level was not great, and their future was pretty bleak. And if we continue to allow our society to walk blindfolded or sleepwalk towards the same kind of thing, particularly on an economic level, where do we go? How does that end up? I got children myself, one of whom isn't on the same page as me and doesn't want to hear, doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to know, which is fine, that's his choice, and we all have to exercise our choices in how we decide to live, and we have to do that depending on our own moral standing. It doesn't sit with me to hide in the house. It doesn't sit well with me to wear a face covering. And this is only to hide my crinkly neck. It's nothing to do with like temporary mask or any of that kind of stuff. It's to hide my was it Deirdre Barlow who had a terrible neck? Yeah, I got one of them. Anyhow, ladies, you'll know. If you don't know now, you will later. So yeah, the future for the children, if this continues, is pretty bleak. The future for the economy to continue down this way is awful. I mean, the furlough scheme, in actual fact, I think that many people have said that it's been simply a sedative to the public to stop any backlash, to prevent any, you know, the masses of people who are about to be handed their P45s in standing up. Maybe they'll stand up when they've got their P45s, when the furlough scheme does come to an end, when they find themselves on the dole queue with no hope of getting another job because the economy is done. I'm done.
Hey!
Sorry, thanks.
Hi guys, I'm easily distracted and I think it's kind of halfway through the shout now about shaking the pot. So that's for collecting a wee bit of money every week to try and do some more stuff with the group, whether that be help subsidise buses to protest through to Edinburgh, or as Collin was talking about, yes, I agree. I can probably shout. I'll just be right. So no, it's working. It's cool. Yeah. So Collin was saying some great stuff that we all really need to be sticking up for each other, and yeah. So things like doing the weekly collection and stuff. If we can do a wee bit there to try and get a whole load of us going through, so we can all stand up outside. Yeah, so it's stuff like that, and if we can print off flyers and all these sorts of things, really it's just to try and move the group forward. I'm just going to take this off if that's alright, guys. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Yeah, so... yeah, so... Paddy, Robert, any of these guys that are being attacked by the forces that are gathering against us, we all really need to come together and use our strength in numbers to demonstrate that they can't just pick us off one by one, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to terrify us all into stopping and coming together, coming to meetings like this today and talking. All these countries, China, all the other communist countries, they always try and shut people down first. Like, only groups of 3 people allowed to associate and all the rest of it, because they don't want us to get together, they don't want us talking, and they don't want us sharing these ideas and trying to help waking up everyone else. I mean, there is that whole 100 monkeys thing, and I really do believe that our solution is in that. You know, there was 100 monkeys on an, or there was monkeys on an island, and there was a young monkey that they were all being fed sweet potatoes by the scientists, and they were eating them on the beach and getting sand on it. Then one of the young monkeys realised that if he washed the potato in the water and it ate it better. Then the older monkeys started learning, and then it kind of went, and then when it hit a certain number, they found that this isolated island actually transmitted that information to the rest of the monkeys and colonies all around the world. So we're starting to waken up, and I think that really that is our solution. We need to try and get out there and get as many people as we can on the steps of grief. That was excellent, because we're seeing that the whole world really is going through these steps of grief, and if we can all kind of walk towards these together and get to the point whereby we see the lie, we see what's happening, and we that is ultimately, I think, that we're going to win this, you know. So that whole thing, last week I was talking about Ryan Spartacus sign, and I got that a bit wrong, the story of that. I thought that was sort of the war cry of one Spartan, meaning that together we're all one thing, but actually it's about Spartacus was apparently, a load of slaves were captured, and they were all going to be allowed to have their freedom if they gave up who Spartacus was, and they all said, I am Spartacus. And I guess that's the way that we can take on stuff like this in Edinburgh. We all turn up, they're trying to do Paddy, saying that we specifically organised this group. Now, if we allow ourselves to have one person at the top then it's easy for them then to take that person out, one. We need to show them we need to show them that one head is named to someone saying we are the grass, you need to cut the whole thing, you need to cut us all down. If we all stand up there,
1 2 1 2,
showing them that there is more of us, then we're